Oh, I've turned our sound on. I forgot to do all the nice graphics. Wait there, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Oh, I've boobed this up. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we are. Phew. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. Hello. What a joy to have you with us, as always. I believe we're at... you and you send out the invites. Is it Season 2, Episode 15 tonight?
I believe it is.
Oh, it's the best kind of sandwich, Fitz. The best kind of sandwich. You can all enjoy a nibble. If it is your first time, welcome to our returning friends, our Discord crew. Welcome back as always. We love having you all around, whether you're new or returning. We love you with all our hearts. Not all of our heart, because a lot of it is left for Ewan. But the bit of heart that isn't being used for Ewan, we provide for you. We do stuff. See, I can't change the bunny until I've got something equally as cute to put you in, Ewan.
I know, and the bunny is so good.
Yeah, it's all good. Keep the bunny.
Keep the bunny. the summer bunny, the Christmas
How would
bunny.
you follow that?
We'll put a little Christmas hat on it. Christmas.
And I like rabbits. Actually, both.
Beach bunny, exactly. We'll put a little bikini on him. A dragon. Who's that little magician? The Piff the Magic Dragon. Don't know if you've seen him, little magician. We could put you in a little Piff the Magic Dragon outfit. You'll be very cute in that. But yes, so welcome. If you're wondering what on earth is going on, this is what's going on. We play Traveller, which is a science fiction roleplay game. This is what we play on a Friday. We do things on other nights, but generally it's Traveller on Friday, with our own kind of vibe. I guess we're quite a chilled out stream. We'll break walls left, right and centre. Join in the chat, especially myself and Ewan, if we're not busy role-playing. We'll get involved. There's options with the click the red sun to spend your points. Like, don't all spend it on Ewan all the time. There's other things as well. And some things will affect the game. So there's that as well. There might be times where you want to agree with something or drink to something. And therefore, whatever our governments do with tax, whatever inflation hits, we promise you our drink to that will always remain as 1 credit. So whenever anything happens, you will be able to afford to drink to that. I love Majestic! It's majestic and sexy boy all at once. It's so confusing. Well, Ewan's up, so Ben, why don't you resplend?
Oh, resplend?
Yeah.
I can do this.
I think people have been saving their points.
There's far too much nonsense going on. Beautiful.
We're not equipped for this, frankly.
There's too much going on. My brain is puzzled. Right, there we go. Let's get rid of Ewan as well. Not actual Ewan, just the graphic.
See you later.
No. So, yes, welcome. If you want to chat, please feel free to join in and chat. We love our chatters. If you just want to lurk, we love our lurkers. If you want to be here for the whole 2 and a bit hours or whatever, then please. Oh, guns are out. Is it the hot tub stream? Is that why Leno's here?
I believe that was put out in the Discord.
If
And then you showed up.
If Leno's here, it's a hot tub stream. I'll get a tub of water during the break, a little one for my feet, and then it'll officially be a little tub.
A washing up bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
And a straw.
Still got a plate in there because I can't bother to take it out. Yes, so please feel free to chat or lurk. We love chatters, we love lurkers. Please feel free to stay here the whole time or pop in and out for 5 minutes. We know there's a lot that you can be doing of an evening, and we appreciate you joining in. And we hope you feel comfortable. If you don't follow us on Twitter, @BoysBought It would be lovely. If you're watching this and you like what you see, consider a follow, stuff like that. I think I'm up to date on subscriber gifts, but if I'm not, someone please pester me. I think you and IO, but I think everyone else I'm up to date with. But apart from that, let's introduce quickly, and then we'll move on. My name is Luke. Hello. And instead of me telling everyone who I'm playing, we can now do our exclamation mark thing, Luke, and everyone can find out about me there. Oh, we've got doubles. So I'm Luke. I'm in the bottom corner. Hello, in the red. Next to me is my friend, my comrade, the man with the swooshiest hair in the group now. It's a thing of beauty.
Need to cut.
Of course it doesn't need to. You'll upset Sparrow. If you start talking about cutting and trimming things, you'll upset him. He don't like the change.
Okay.
It is my friend, my comrade, my co-crewman. It is you, and we're next to each other, so we can do our classic fist bump. There we go. Oh yeah, the fist bump that's taken the internet by storm. We don't need to ask Ewan who he's playing, because we can just exclamation mark Ewan. So easy.
We could just not do anything. Have you got enough time to type out enough responses to turn this RPG into a text adventure? And then we can just jump in chat and sit here silently.
Just put the individual chapter numbers or paragraph numbers in as individual ones.
Perfect.
This could be good. It means that if Ben's not available for a week, we could still play. He could just type up some chunks, and then we'll just jump off the back of that, and then type Ben 2, and then roll off the back of that Ben 3. It'd be brilliant. Speaking of Ben, he is the smartest man in any room. He lives his life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. How many naked old men have you got there today, Ben?
Tragically, none.
Oh.
None at all. No, I'm sitting here completely alone this evening because all of my employees have decided to go out for drinks without me.
Oh. It's tough at the top, man. You can't be a boss and a friend.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, it's the nature of command. I've always said that.
Now, if at any point during this evening Ben leans forward, he does look like he's about to distribute a tray of milk tray on a lady's bedside table, which is quite exciting tonight. I got quite excited when the camera logged on. So keep an eye out for those milk tray moments, and we'll celebrate them if they come.
Clip them.
Clip the milk tray moments as he leans forward excitedly. How are you doing anyway, Ben?
I'm fairly well, thank you. Yeah, fairly well. Recovering from a lousy cold I've had for like 2 weeks, but yeah, fine.
I'm glad you're on the mend.
Yeah, feeling better, and very much looking forward to tonight because my Fridays are always, my sort of high point of my week. It's lovely.
Oh, you're so kind-hearted, Ben, and you're so... No wonder everyone loves you.
Well, that's true, though I should point out you didn't entirely let me finish. It's when Yana shows up at the beginning. That's actually the high point.
It's a very quick peak and then a long drop off on the other side.
Always leaving wanting more.
Well, maybe she can come back sometime. I don't know. At least you're not the sort of GM that would then write her in as like a GM NPC and then overpower the whole game just for your own fantasies. Right?
I've just got to scrub something out here.
Okay, speaking of your fantasies, Ben, what's been going on in this adventure?
Okay, so remaining in the city of Azureport on Dilub Rou, our travellers have any number of things to undertake, but first, they've constructed something of a plan. Visiting a local government official, they learnt that the property they found will only be sold to a resident of the planet, and only for a business purpose. The local resident matter was easily resolved, a call to Telon Rack, and he was on board. Then, in what's probably a first for a live-streamed RPG, the characters entered the exciting world of negotiating a mortgage deal, in case they do end up purchasing the building. As for the business requirement, the economics seem a challenge given the fairly high asking price, but the intended purpose of the business, to provide better accommodation for some of the less advantaged in society, also hit a snag when the nuns of the Priory of Panunzio wanted nothing to do with running it. Undaunted, the travellers also booked a meeting at Pan System Power with an executive called Jerem Naris, who is a Dilub Rou local. He has suggested that another executive sit in on the meeting, Arden Keane. If that goes well, they might be able to establish a helpful business relationship for vehicle dealer Lane Jarek, and there may be a few other things to discuss in that meeting as well. Our heroes also struck a deal to purchase some valuable ores from Beman, a trader found in the local trading post known as the Lagoon. They've agreed to make the physical exchange that afternoon at a trading floor behind the Lagoon, and he's also taking that scale they inherited off them. And that is where we resume the story.
It is. Is Agnar still trying to walk down with the kids kind of way, or has he settled into his usual self? And now that we've moved away from the trader, we've got no one to prove anything to.
No, he's probably forgotten completely what he was trying to do. 5 seconds last week, 5 seconds ago.
5 seconds
Let's be honest, he's getting old, isn't he, Luke?
Very, very old. How can someone be that old and still be able to walk, quite frankly?
No, he's probably not trying to be down with the kids anymore, now that we've... now that Kara's got her dodgy deal out of the way.
A very good deal, thank you very much. I think I did very well, thank you.
It was a very good deal, you did very well.
Well, good practice, I think. Yeah. What sort of time is it, Ben? As we look up in
We're talking second brunch.
Okay, second brunch. Good time, second brunch. Kara will turn to Agnar and say, do you need anything else while we're here, or are we done at the trade hall for now?
I've taken in all I need to take in, I think, with the sights. I've no trading to do. I was only here for the ambience, the experience. Broaden my horizons and all that.
How do you find? Did you feel like your horizons broadened? Is it like looking across the sheer vastness of Dilub Rou at night?
No, not at all. To be honest, I think there's just too much going on. If it's like a focused one or two people or groups here, I could have probably absorbed some of it, but this just feels like a bigger picture kind of place.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Speaking of absorbing, should we head back to the hotel, get a nice table? How about a nice? They do nice brunches there. Should we sit and have a treat ourselves? I feel like we're gonna have a busy couple of days. Should we treat ourselves to a nice brunch with our new bosses, Soraya and Stefan, when they come back?
You're obsessed with this hotel, but yeah, I think that might be. Do we need to clear it with them first?
I paid 12,000 credits for this hotel. I'm going to get my use out of it.
Do we need to clear brunch with them first, or can we still brunch without their permission? Is that allowed now?
When you
don't know the new arrangements.
Of course. Who the buck stops with. Let's do it anyway. When you were the boss, we used to book things in all the time anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was never what?
But you're a kind and generous overling. Let's go back. We'll drop him a message and tell him what the plan is. I've just suddenly had that thought in my mind. It might be a good idea just to let them know as we head over.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Okay. And Kara will drop the message to Soraya that we're going to meet up, have a nice brunch in the hotel. A nice fancy one, just so we can sort of catch up and regather and work out how we're going to go about things next, if that makes sense.
Right. It's a short hop, as you know, because the lagoon is only one building back from the edge of the downport. So essentially, it's a very quick walk out onto the downport. You can see the occasional ship taking off and landing from various points around its circumference. None particularly close, and it's mere moments as you wander back into the domes and back up towards the hotel.
Oh, let's take it downstairs amongst all the pools, shall we? Let's get a table. Let's make a thing of it. Open a couple of bottles.
Poolside brunch.
See, now you're talking. See, this is why you were the leader. This sort of decision maker.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
No longer. I have to say, it's quite liberating. Is this what it felt like the whole time for the rest of you?
Oh yeah, just someone making decisions for us. Lovely.
Very nice.
Okay.
Let's go.
Fantastic. It is time for brunch spares. As they get in ahead to the pool, I like to think that, judging by the time, Soraya and Stefan would have had more than enough time then to sort of make it their way back if we're gathering together.
Should be able to, no problem at all.
And I've got to find that brunch. There it is. And as Kara pulls out a chair next to a pool to offer Agnar the seat, she hears a call from another table on another pool going, "Hey, you two!" And it's Soraya. "I've booked us a table. Taken initiative, you see. This table's much nicer, I feel. Come and join us."
Oh, Agnar's already sat down, so it'll take me a minute, but he'll start getting up. Where are they, Carl? Which way?
But judging by Soraya's voice, which is normally very easy to hear, it's just round on that next pool over, behind those suspicious-looking ferns. It's a very nice spot, next to some kind of strange indoor gazebo. Very hoity-toity.
Well, indeed.
And I think
the gazebo I get. I'm not sure what a suspicious-looking fern. How that differs from a regular-looking fern, but
it's just the way it's rotated.
Thought you were going to say rotating, and that was a person hidden inside the pot.
Just slowly rotated.
Right, yeah.
Rotating ferns would be quite suspicious, yes.
Definitely. Well, let's go join them then. See if they've taken the initiative to order already.
As they're on their way over, Sarai will shower. I've already ordered us drinks. Bloody Marys for all. It's a Bloody Mary brunch.
Okay.
You two are happy with that? Yeah.
I am, as long as it's not those rehydrated Bloody Marys that we had. We had at that. Do you remember that bar? Oh, they were awful. As long as it's the good stuff, the fresh Bloody Marys.
If it's not, you can take it up with the new leadership, mate, can't you?
I will.
Let's see if they're coming through with this.
Cara and I have spent the morning making comment cards for the new leadership.
Just dump them on the table. And if they put chairs. And we're all seated together, Ben, I guess now, behind the suspicious fern and near the gazebo.
Okay, fair enough. The environment is nice. It's by one of the shallower parts of the flowing water that makes the complex pool structure underneath the hotel, and you have a private table to yourself. Nobody immediately nearby, but the environment's fairly busy. People coming and going.
Lovely. So I guess we'll just settle. It's a resettle. Just have a couple of nice drinks and a nice plattered brunch, if that's okay. Waiter, do you do any nice sort of like a brunch platter at all? Could you rustle
you
one up?
sort of wave over the nearest Tim.
Is it our Tim or another Tim?
It's a different Tim, I'm afraid.
No. Hello, Tim. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Does this place provide a plattered brunch? Yeah, with maybe a variety of different brunch ingredients upon it that we could share?
You'd like an assiette, of course.
A smorgasbord brunch.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fantastic. That would be absolutely wonderful. And so Raya will say, "Don't worry, I'll pay for this now. Don't worry. I'll take charge of this situation. How much do I owe you, different Tim?"
Assiette for 4?
Yes, please, and another round of Bloody Marys, please.
Absolutely. Your total will come to 45, all in.
Oh, cheaper than I thought. I'd rubbed off the hundreds there. Because I was getting low on the hundreds. Okay, got it. Splendid. Oh, Daddy Agnar's paying for it, so that's okay. That takes away that.
Okay.
Some things never change.
How much was that, sorry, Ben? 45?
45, yeah.
Does anyone else want one around here, by the way? That's
sat poolside. You there in the potted plant.
That's it for 6. Yeah, exactly. If you're making one,
You hiding in the fern.
Yeah.
Tim, would you like a drink for yourself while you're here? Maybe a soft drink, maybe.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, we felt we should ask. It's only polite.
He bustles off to sort out your food and drink.
Okay. Agnar will say, "Oh well, Soraya, I see we're increasing the 45 credits. We're increasing the budget for a brunch now."
Kelly. Well, it's the way things are going. Everything's getting more expensive, Agnar. I don't know if you've noticed today. Things have gone up recently on Dilub Rou, it feels.
Yeah, I mean they certainly have. They certainly have. I'm not one to curb the expenditure of the group. It's nice to see the cash flowing a bit more readily.
Oh, what, you felt like have you been holding back? Has that been your leadership plan, Agnar? Same thing, some for a rainy day. Hey, DMDM, how you doing? Welcome in. It's going okay. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. Get it flowing a little bit.
Yeah. As long as we don't go too crazy, 45 credits is fine.
That's okay. It's a special brunch. It's exciting, but there's a lot. It's going to be a big couple of days. The calm before the storm, as it were.
Are you saying the storm is going to be the next couple of days, or are you saying the storm is after those exciting couple of? Because I'm not sure I'm ready for either, to be honest.
Well, murdering a man in cold blood in an alleyway was just a warm up. There's a lot of excitement. So gobble down your food, and we're gonna.
Agnar looks over to Kara with a somewhat worried look at the appetizer that's just been thrown out in conversation.
And Kara will say, "What you mean, like selling drugs and buying hooky jewellery wasn't bad enough for you, Agnar?"
He kind of just. Yeah, actually, that's a fair comment.
To be honest,
It goes back to.
it's all gone to pot since they've taken over Agnar, hasn't it? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I wouldn't. I think we need to give them a chance. I don't think that's a fair assessment at such an early stage. I'm sure they'll do a wonderful job.
So Raya sort of stands up and she says, "Speaking of which, is our Tim there, Ben? At the bar or anything?"
No, he won't be on this early.
Oh, it's too early for Tim. She stands up and she says, she sort of starts walking around the table as if to take them all in.
Power move.
Oh yeah, very much. She puts her hand on the side, picks up the I didn't say mimosa, it's the force of habit. Picks up the Bloody Mary, slurps it, takes a crunch of the celery, puts it back down again. Winces a little bit at the taste. It's not necessarily to her taste. It just felt like it was the right drink for the time. And she's trying to look powerful. Do you know what I mean? They're putting their own stamp on things. Well, Stefan and I, as you know, have fallen in love with this building, and very much so. And we have found a mortgage potentially. There's been some pluses and minuses. Agnar, you remember the resplendent rack, of course.
How can I forget?
Well, he's willing to become like the big pupper of the house if we can buy it. You know, he's willing to cut the ribbon, put his face there, wave at dignitaries, be the main man, which is great. It means, Agnar, that anytime we come back to Dilub Rou, you'll have a friend right here that you can hang out with for a while.
I mean, that would be the case anyway, right? He's already bought property here.
Ah, but you don't have to get sand in your fur here. It's not that day-long drive. If he's
That's
around,
true.
There
was a lot of floof washing that out.
Oh man, yeah.
Sand and dried blood everywhere.
You won't have to bring so many of those tree air fresheners with you to hang around your neck. But anyway, we've got some things that we want to do with that. We feel like there's a few leads we need to follow up with that, I guess. Things we want to put in place. We've got plans. Haven't we, Stefan?
He looks up from his half-empty Bloody Mary. He's not normally one for knocking back the drinks, but
we found
Stefan feels quite liberated by this newfound power. Yes, it is. We've got big plans for the place. I mean, we should probably show them at some point that it's a spectacular building. You'd love it.
You would. The thing is, because we want to sort of look after those needy ones, and it's very important. That's our main goal, But there also needs to be a business that's part of it. And this is the bit that Stefan and I were umming and ahhing about on the way back from the walk. And first of all, we're thinking maybe a bar, but then there's that Varga bar opposite. we don't want to step on his toes. He seemed like a nice guy, you know. So we're thinking, what could we do that might work together? Wasn't that right, Stefan? You went on about the bar for a long time.
Well, I mean, it would be nice. Yeah, you've got to you got to think we do frequent a lot of bars. If we had our own, it would be quite handy.
Oh, but they always say always is a good idea at the time. They always say, if I love the pub, I own a pub. But that's never the right way to go about things.
Well, it's true, but don't bring that up just before we hit the next idea.
No. Well, what else do we love, guys? What else do we love? Agnar, what do we love as a crew?
Sensible, rational, well thought out decisions that don't involve mortgages.
You can't start a business based on sensible, well thought out decisions. What's wrong with you? This is why you're no longer leading this group. You hold us back with that sort of thinking. Gambling.
Sorry.
Think harder.
Mimosas. He says as he sips his Bloody Mary.
We do love mimosas. And what is mimosa part of?
Our 5 a day.
What, 5 mimosas a day? Are you cutting back?
Well, orange juice, you know.
Okay.
Healthy.
That is true. What are we all sitting down to now?
A meeting.
Agnar.
Telling off.
Agnar. It will be a telling off in a minute, Agnar.
It's at this moment that the Tim returns with plates and a big tray of stuff for the middle and a tray of drinks a few seconds later. Gives a smile and wanders off.
Thanks, Tim. So I thrust her hands rather unceremoniously into one of the plates of food and holds it up. He says, "You see this, Agnar? To you, it just looks like food. But to me, this is a dream. But only part of a dream. But a dream nonetheless."
You want to open up a brunch bar? Restaurant. Building.
We want brunch to be part of the dream, Agnar. We're dreaming big. We're dreaming big. We're dreaming big. Can you imagine it? Bast's Brunchery.
That has a certain ring to it.
It does.
It must be said.
Screw
When
up.
was the last time you made a brunch? Do you know what goes into assembling a brunch?
Cheesy balls and mimosas, isn't it? But that's beside the point. That's not. That's not.
Yeah, you're right. We don't need to know the ins and outs of brunch if we're going to open up a brunch. Bast's Brunchery.
I'm the ideas woman. Other people make things happen. And you know what else? You remember the back of that building, Stefan? What else were we thinking about with regards to that property?
There's a couple of sheds out back, which back out onto the vast expanses of the beautiful world of Dilub Rou. Do you remember our first trip here?
The thing that brought us all together except you, Stefan.
Well, exactly. Your first trip here is what I meant to say, obviously.
Obviously.
And we're not talking about hunting down moams. That's cruel and inhumane, and we'd probably need some form of license and experienced people to go out.
Cara's nodding ferociously at that. Yeah, no hunting these creatures.
No. But tours, certainly, of their hunting grounds.
Oh.
We could even load up, any best past its best before date food. We could load up onto the wagon and throw it out and leave it for moams to attract them to the safari vehicles, so that people get a close up view of the animals. It's bound to end well.
It's beautiful. And who do we know that has vehicles locally? None of us remember his name, but we know him. Jarek, isn't it? Jarek.
Lane Jarek.
Lane Jarek. And who are we doing a favour for?
Oh.
Yes.
Stefan, I know.
Stefan?
Langerette.
We are. Well done, Stefan. Well done. This is what... Man, you're really growing into this role, Stefan.
Well, I think we've done well as a team, to be fair. We've put all this business plan together. Because that's what this is, obviously.
It's part of a square. There's a bar opposite, and food and drink. If all you need is two like things that work together, and it becomes an area. We're back in right next to the desert. What will the local powers want? They want people bringing in. What brings people in? Safaris, food, drink, a place for them to stay. Something that isn't quite as expensive as here. Something for the more adventurous individual.
Oh. So right, and who do we know who's well trained with weapons and wouldn't let any of our tourists die?
Well, I'd say the most, the floofiest man we know, even floofier than you, Agnar. The resplendent one himself. Tilam, you could see him. You could see him in his little jacket with his lapels and his little buttons done up and his shotgun in hand, couldn't you? Just keeping an eye on things.
The blunderbuss.
Majestic!
Exactly, over his mask. Ben, you need to resplend. Ben's will to live is slowly dying, so we'll let him resplend. Oh, yeah.
No, we're fine.
You need to resplend though, Ben. Bring your will back a little bit.
Can do.
We do suppose we're just we're setting up the future. We're like the most dragging it back to real life of any kind of roleplay stream there's ever been.
And you left out the best bit.
That's
all right.
I did leave out the best bit.
Free
brunches for us.
Free brunches for management.
Free brunches, and there's rooms downstairs for the guests, and we could provide space and safe housing for a handful at least of those that are unfortunate, that have periods of time when they're lucid and could be earning money. They could perhaps, some of them could perhaps work in this place, and perhaps for the others we could find a way to find them somewhere slightly safer than they are now, you know. And of course, if lots of people are going on safari, lots of people are going to get bitten by crates.
It's not something we'll put on the flyers.
No.
Obviously.
No. Exactly. It's a beautiful plan which probably won't work, but you know those moments where everything ticks in, and now that we're the leadership, Stefan and I have decided that is what we're going to try and push for. If you other two don't mind. She sort of looks at Agar.
Don't ask.
I'm sorry. Yes, but it's been decided. That's what we're going to go for. We've already decided how much money is going to come out of the ship accounts. You're each giving up 100,000 credits to get things going. We're going to need to put more into it. We're going to need to look at more investment and things in stuff and building it up, even on our travels. You know, it might involve Agnar, you cutting back on the good whiskies when we're travelling to send money back.
Agnar spits his Bloody Mary all over the table. Wait. So 100,000 credits of each of our money, and that covers...
That's just a down payment.
The building, the equipment, the first couple of months' salary for people working there, all the stuff you would expect, I assume.
Oh, no. 100,000 is just to bring the mortgage down to 1.6 mega credits. Then we've got to pay 16,000 credits every month over 10 years.
Do you know what we could buy with 1.6 mega credits?
I do, but
other than that building,
yeah, a lot of pocket nukes. But that's beside the point. We're doing something to create rather than destroy. We're doing something for Dilub Rou. It's where most of us met each other again. You know, some of us knew each other, but we were meeting each other, making new friends. It's where that bond was tightened. Just up there, Sarai points up at the sky, was where Stefan tried to screw us over good pay by pretending he was getting paid less than the rest of us.
I was practicing my management skills even way back then.
It was just, it's the memories. It's a beautiful thing. What brings us together more than the safari, the brunch, helping those in need, and having a place that's directly opposite a bar?
Agnar would say, well, I have to admit, the more time I spend here, the more time I could see myself retiring to a place like this. And his mind wanders off for a little minute and thinks about Rack storming into his home with his hair blowing in his vac suit. It's quite a nice planet, and it is. You are right. It does hold some fond memories for me. It is where we met.
It is, and it's where we could all end up dying together, of old age, of course,
or becoming bankrupt. What are the payments on such a mortgage? 1.6 mega credits.
It's 16.
A tear forms in his eye.
It's 20,000 credits a month, but it's going to be 16,000 if we pay off the amount first. So 16,000 credits a month for 10 years. Only 10 years. We'll only be your age by then, Agnar. And you're still young. Most of us will still have our whole lives ahead of us.
At this point, my one reservation, aside from the fact that you haven't looked into what any of the running costs would be, or salaries for said people, or anything else at all, basically. But my one reservation will be that we're about to set off on a long, well, not about, but in a couple of weeks we'll be setting off on a long haul mission.
Yeah, which is great. So, if
what was the pay we had set up on that?
Oh, there was pay. There was something, wasn't there? That's 3 notebooks ago.
If that doesn't cover the mortgage, we're gonna have to start taking on some side missions. At which point we're burning the candle at both ends, as it were.
Side missions. Don't you remember side missions, Agnar? Don't you remember the joy we had, the thrill of the chase, the finding cash cards in the dead bodies of victims, the stealing little things off children? Don't you remember those halcyon days?
No, yeah, I certainly do, and none of them earned us 16,000 credits a month. Is all I'm thinking. I'd just like to see the two figures side by side and know the difference that we have to cover, I guess, plus any upkeep costs.
We could always steal those. We could always steal those robots
and sell them.
Sure, why not? Found some drugs and sold it. You got to remember, we've got Kara. Soraya points at Kara. She's trading for us now. We could use that trade money, any profit from that, to pay off.
Kara, how many months have you made 16,000 credits profit?
Oh, she says, oh, what?
Running.
Well, I've been trading. She's literally been trading about 5 weeks. She's like, well, I made 105,000 off some uncommon ore, which then I put into fish. We've got 150,000 credits worth of fish, which can be sold. We've got 30,000 in the accounts at the minute, and I'll be getting some jewels soon. So we'll have jewels, 15,000. So it's looking okay. Like I say, you might need to cut back on the average whiskey, Agnar, but could be okay.
I mean, I'm happy. I have more than enough supply to keep me going. In fact, I think that was part of the payment for the trip. I'm sure they agreed to have a set amount of whiskey on board for us.
It's why there was no space for the second sandwich, toasted sandwich maker, which I remember very clearly, Agnar.
Yes, it was indeed.
You changed your camera, Ewan?
Yeah, sorry. Hold on.
What have you become? Ah, phew.
There we go. Okay, well, listen, if management thinks we can cover it,
Oh.
Who am I to disagree?
Wow, indeed. But there's lots of things. There's a lot of things we need to do. Yeah, Agnar. We've got lots of things. Maybe we can make some money out of the wonderful jobs we're going to do for people now. Maybe we can bring joy to some people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be stuff on World that we have time to do that's not, the usual making sure that it's safe for the mission that's coming behind us and securing supply lines for them. In fact, I'm sure if we're securing supply lines, we can Kara can earn 16,000 credits a month, no problem.
Oh, I can do it from my. I'm starting to get advertised for my blogging now. I make about my next payment is 15 credits this month, so I'll put that into the pot. That's not a problem. Soraya raise her hand. Says, Tim, another round of Bloody Marys, please, before we leave.
There goes the 16 credits.
Well, I think there's a Daddy Agnar mode came up.
Glorious. How much for the Bloody Marys, Ben?
45.
Wonderful.
They're good. They're very strong. Happy Easter, legit. Joy to see if. Now I'm going to read all your writing in Otto's voice, and it's going to bring me much joy. Anyway, should we go and I don't know what we're going to do with her, but should we go and lean on Umma this afternoon? We got a few hours free.
Yeah, sure.
That's it. Cool.
I mean, if we're just taking out a mortgage for 1.6 mega credits, what's taking on some seedy crime boss?
She's a wrong
After you, Agnar. Yes.
No. We've learnt from you, Agnar. A good leader leads from the back to check that no one's chasing up behind you. And Soraya takes a sip out of the Bloody Mary, puts it back down and says, right, let's go to Umma's place.
Okay. All right. You heading off just the four of you, or are you taking anyone else?
That is a good question. What are we thinking? If there's going to be...
Well, I would say Sammy, but she's probably still recovering.
Sammy's your other stuff. Just because Stefan needs somewhere to hide behind.
It's not my fault that she's so good at what she does.
She's the.
Someone needs to explain to Stefan that geologist doesn't mean she's made out of rock.
She's the team's tank, though. Zoe Rose went over, but I don't want her anywhere near that place now. If there's going to be stuff, she's not made for it. Zoe's the only one I could think of otherwise. Do we need her though? Should we go over just the four of us?
Stefan will say, what about Sutter? You take him out for a run.
He's not a dog.
Sounds like just his sort of place.
What? Some seedy
No,
place.
maybe not.
Gurg, poor Gurg. Johnny, maybe. He's good at seedy knowledge. Let's take John. Should we take John if he wants to? A little run out?
If he's not, preoccupied with looking after his sister.
No. Once she was up and about, he was happy to come and wander over to the lagoon with you if necessary. If you remember.
Yes.
Yep. He's perfectly up for that.
Okay.
Stefan will say, has everyone got everything they need? Do you want to pick anything up from the room? Everyone all suited and booted.
Are your fisticles reloaded, Stefan?
They are.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
I think it takes a while, but it's been a long day.
Yes, it takes something like a full turn, doesn't it, to reload them?
Yeah.
But that's a matter of seconds, not minutes.
Indeed. Well then, I think we've got our hand. We can't go around with massive rifles. We're not like the army, are we? I think we've got enough in our sidearms. I'm sure.
Could always call up Rack. Speaking of the army.
Rack. Oh, what? You just want to chat with him, Magna? Any excuse?
Well, no, just if we expect if we're expecting any confrontation or danger, I'm sure he'd have our backs.
Although he's quite a way away, isn't he, Ben? If he's at home, hours away, right?
He would be. I mean, yeah, a couple of hours out probably.
Do you want him, Magna? We can wait here for a bit, get tooled up, if he wants to come along. We can run him over for the business plan while he's here. We can show him the place after.
As we're going around in the middle of a drugs den, potentially fighting people, we could be giving him the elevator pitch for our business.
This is becoming a better idea by the second.
Leadership, I tell you, it's going to be the death of me.
Give him a call. See if Think you'll come along with him if she's still around. This is a great plan, Agnar.
Agnar will look over to Soraya.
She'll give him the nod.
He'll pick up the phone, and he'll call Rack.
Okay. Right. He answers after a couple of rings. Hello.
Hi, Rack. It's Ragnar. Agnar. It's not Ragnar. That's the Ragnar's tail is a shit.
Oh, you've got a little pet name for the pair of you now.
I'm sorry, I forgot my name. We're just off to go see Soraya. Who are we going to go see? How would you describe them?
I would describe them as a leech sucking the life out of the hopes and dreams of a young population for her own good.
Soraya says, and I quote, "A leech sucking the hopes and dreams out of the young population for their own good."
Politicians.
No, I think less higher up the social standings than that.
Like a slum landlord.
A lawyer?
No, much further. Somebody said the word slum around here. Anyway, somebody also mentioned your name and said that you'd be up for doing some good on the planet, helping us out potentially.
Have you decided to select violence?
I'm going to say yes, seeing as I was given the go ahead to give you the call.
Then you've come to the right place.
I thought so.
Do we need to bring some kit? In which case, where exactly are we going?
We're in the outer circle. That is right, isn't it?
Yeah. But not far off the edge.
Okay.
I'll tell you what then. Give me a location near the target. We'll meet you there.
Wonderful. Soraya, where's near? Where's near Rumours?
If he parks, he could park at the new place. He can land just outside at the end where we drag that dead body. We can show him the place from the outside as we walk past, and then that's not too far. That's only like a 10 minute walk from Umma's, and it gets us a chance to catch up along the way. It's win-win.
Okay. Perfect. There's an old government building that's got a couple of garages that back out onto
a really well preserved government building
onto the desert. A really well preserved, I'm being told, beautiful looking old government building with a little bit out back. It's up for sale. I'll send you a ping, or I'll get Cara to. She knows what she's doing with technology. I'm sure she
Excellent
can
stuff.
send you the location. In fact, she's looked it up on. Whatever the Dilub Rou equivalent of right move is.
Yeah.
She'll send you the information. Come expecting violence, as you say.
Sounds good. All right. I'll let you know when I'm in place.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you, Rack. Oh, if your friend wants to join, they'll be more than welcome.
Oh, Lovely. Yes, she likes a run out like that.
Yeah, I got that impression.
All right. Okay. He signs off.
Agnar will sit in silence for a little bit on the phone and just say goodbye and hang up. Right, he'll meet us there. Kara, can you send him the address of our new head office? What are we calling this? We'll look over to Soraya and Stefan.
Kara, so that's okay. Yeah, I've got. I know what you're talking about, Ragnar. I'll send it there.
I was flustered. Okay, it was a bit out of the blue. I wasn't really expecting anyone to say yes, give him a call, and get him on board.
I know. You did very well. I think he thinks you're really cool. Okay, I'll send him the coordinates now. And why don't we wander over there? It takes a little while. It's a little jaunt. We can always swing by the other Varga's place, the bar, and just wait for him there until he turns up, because that's like 2 minutes away. Yeah. Cool. Let's do that now. Let's head over. We're tooled up enough not to look like an invading army, but people carry weapons on the planet, don't they, Ben? To within sensibleness. So let's do that.
Yeah. Generally, you don't see many people carrying long arms, but it's not that uncommon.
No.
And many people carry handguns.
Cool. That's what we take. Johnny, you armed?
Yeah, I got a pistol.
Okay. Well, bring it along. Let's go. Are you happy if we choose violence, Johnny? Are you still happy to come?
Yeah, I mean, are we going straight for violence, or do we have a plan A?
Plan A is to at least lean on her, I guess. Have some words. Have a nice chat. See where we can go. Violence is there if we need it. We're not going in all guns blazing, I don't think. Are we, Agnar?
Ask leadership.
So I was like, no. We're planning to. We'll talk first. Come on, Johnny. You'll be fine. Think of it as a nice day. You haven't seen this bar yet. It's cool. There's a Varga that runs it. It's a very cool place.
Okay, sounds lovely.
Cool, and I guess we'll all saddle up and head over, please, Ben.
All right. You make your way out of the domes down as far as the entrance into the slightly rougher looking, slightly less regular structure of the ring, and clamber along through there in pretty straightforward ways. Can you quickly each roll a streetwise check for me, please?
I hadn't even been warming to us.
I forgot we were playing a game that involved dice for a minute.
Is this for everyone?
Yeah, please.
Flat streetwise, Ben.
Yeah, streetwise with intellect.
Oh, thank
you.
Let's do Agnar first, because that's a nice -3 to get my dice warmed up.
Only a 7 for Soraya. She's letting leadership go to her head a bit.
Oh, well. Agnar rolled a 2. So that's another -1 for Agnar.
Oh, no.
Oh,
he's thinking about
the last one was streetwise as well.
He's thinking about other things.
He's flustered. Stefan is slightly better, though.
Yeah, Kara's okay.
That's, 7 + 2 is 9.
And Kara's got a 9 + 2 is 11.
Okay, 11. All right. Okay. You make your way along the slightly more dusty and rough trodden areas. As you move outwards through the ring, it gets just a little bit grubbier, but it's uneven. You know, you can walk past a quite nicely turned out shop or restaurant, and then past a fairly nicely put together piece of residential, and then round the corner there's some ratty shack where people are selling third hand rubbish out of the back. You never know what you're going to find round each corner. But you know the way easily, and you make your way through to the Varga Tavern that is kept just in front or just on the inside of the route leading out to your government property that you've been interested in, run by Degek, of course. And he doesn't run much of a staff, you understand. It's a privately owned business as far as he's concerned. So he cheerfully looks up as you walk in with a big smile on his face. And, when you're a Varga, a smile is a big thing. And he says, "Oh, welcome back."
Oh. Agnar, you've been gifted a boon from your fluffy bitches.
I know, it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Floofy, exactly.
Floofy.
Has Agnar been in yet? I don't think he has he? No.
I think he's sat in...
Yeah, on your first visit in, I think Agnar came in.
Was it when Soraya and Stefan and Zoe went scouting around the building?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Agnar and Kara set up in a booth.
There you go then. Oh, Degek, what a joy to be back. How's business since about 4 hours ago?
It's early yet, but can't complain.
We'd like to throw a bit more money at you. Could we have 5 Bloody Marys, please, and we'll take it at our usual table if it's free.
He sort of glances at the essentially empty bar and says, "For you, sure."
Thank you very much. Do you want one yourself, Degek? Do you want a drink?
Oh, that's kind of you, but it's a little bit early for me.
Go big on the Tabasco and easy on the vodka, please. We've got a business to be done.
Oh, good. Good to know.
Okay.
How heavy on the celery salt?
Oh, Agnar, that's your favourite part, isn't it?
Hey, heavy for me, please.
He settles into assembling it using all of the equipment at his disposal. So, he pushes a button and out comes exactly the drink you ordered.
Nice.
Oh, Degek.
This is a desert world. It's not generally in a place like this that you're going to find stuff grown in his own garden, kind of thing.
Indeed.
But a few moments later, he walks over and distributes some drinks on the table.
Agnar will say to him, "How if you don't mind me asking, how difficult is that? And he'll gesture over towards the push button machine. Do you get many problems with those things? Are they difficult to operate? As
No,
expensive technicians.
Yeah, maintenance can be pricey. Operation is pretty straightforward, but maintenance can be expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, well, thanks. It's good to know. Thank you for the drink as well. It's much appreciated. When's your next themed day for Varga holidays? What's coming up? I lose track of the date with all these planets. What's the next?
Well, the next one, of course, is today.
Oh, what a joy! What day is this? The event,
the Feast of Keresh.
The Feast of Keresh. Is there anything special we need to do for the Feast of Keresh?
Well, different Varga celebrate the feast differently, of course. It's a very traditional holiday among Varga.
What do you normally do, Agnar? Agnar, what do you normally do for the Feast of Keresh?
Well, you know me, I'm a very very traditional Varga, set in my ways in my old age. He looks over to the barman. to carry on with his explanation.
So the way I celebrate it is to sell as much alcohol as I can to a bunch of people in this place, and then drink myself until basically everyone leaves and I can pass out.
It's like a Thursday.
No, Thursday is the Feast of Zagnar.
Ragnar's cousin.
That's what I love about the Varga. There's so many feasts.
One for every day. And they all pretty much end the same.
Good. You know where you are with the Varga, I always say. Degek, we came in earlier. We made a phone call and we had a little chat about that building opposite, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're considering putting an offer in on it.
Okay.
Like, I guess, not that we're planning to stay here, I guess. We've got a friend, a fellow Varga actually, who's happy to, sign the papers and, be the one that it all falls apart on, a good friend of ours. But we just we wanted to make sure that if we did, it wouldn't be something, and it worked. It's still early days. It wouldn't be something that trod on your toes too heavily, I guess. Something that developed the area as opposed to ruined you, I suppose.
What are you planning to do with it?
A combination of a brunchery and a safari outpost, I guess, for people to come in, tourists that don't want to stay in the hotel. They might come and they might stay there for a couple of days, take a trip or two out into the deserts, come back, maybe have a brunch. I'm sure they'll be thirsty. They'll want to celebrate a feast or two, maybe.
Okay. You planning to sell alcohol?
I don't know. I'm sure we can have a discussion about how best it will work with you. Like I say, we don't want to put your nose out of joint. In fact, if we're not against. What's it called when Subway? So get other people to run their stores for them.
Franchising.
We're not against
franchising out the business.
We're not against franchise. Are we? Are we, Stefan?
I don't think so. I think we would potentially provide alcohol as part of the brunch experience, but not necessarily sell it on its own. I think we could direct them certainly in this general direction if people loosen up after a few drinks and decide they want a few drinks more. Without a brunch.
We could close at a certain time. We could make sure no drinks are served after a certain time, so there's only one place locally to get good drinks.
All right. Can you roll a persuade for me with intellect, please?
Yes, please. Oh no, this one feels important for all our hopes and dreams.
At least the relations.
Do we both, as me and you were sort of double teaming, can we both do it, Ben, please?
Certainly can. It can be a task chain if you like. In which case you can do persuade plus intellect or persuade plus social, whichever you prefer.
Have you got either that would be good at that? Because Cara, who was talking, can nail it.
Stefan's got a +1 persuade.
Okay. Should we task chain it? They were chatting it up.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, why not?
Let the chips fall where they may.
I'll roll first. Well, I rolled well, so you hopefully you'll be okay.
Okay.
Because I've hit a 10 plus 4 is 14.
Or Stefan hit an 8 plus 1 is a 9.
Okay, total of +7. That is a very good roll. Yeah. Okay. There's a sort of quite long pause. And then Degek says, "It's a big place in there, right?"
Yeah, there's a massive, great big downstairs area. There's rooms out the back for this. We were looking at some rooms upstairs for staff. There's some people we're thinking about. 8 rooms downstairs we could be thinking about for, tourists. This place to build onto it. Yeah, good size.
All right. How about I run the front of it? You run the safari business out the back. I'll run your accommodation and restaurant and bar in the front. If I sell this place up, I could go in with a decent wodge.
Oh.
Ooh.
The last time I got these tingles was when I actually got accepted for an actual mortgage.
Which wasn't that long ago.
Oh, that's what I look at. Oh. No, not even last weekend ago. Oh. The accom, the restaurant, the bar. Oh, I'll tell you what. So almost like an all-in-one resort, I guess.
Essentially, you can run your safari business from there.
Yeah.
But I'll run the main building as, essentially, I'll just move my bar on the other side of the street. And brings my regulars.
Yeah.
A nice Varga feast every night of the year.
Well, of course.
If you've got tourists coming through, that can be a nice gimmick for them.
We've also got quite a nice Varga interested who might help bring in some tourists.
Oh.
Be they Varga or non-Varga related tourists. Have we told him about the resplendent Varga moving into the planets for Stefan or so?
No, and you know what? He would be perfect for the safari side of things.
He would indeed.
Rack and Degek. Oh, that's a combo.
Are you familiar with
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Kara, get the poster up.
She sort of flicks through and flicks through a few posters of the of Telon Rack's join the military posters. Accidentally flicks through one of the carving pictures by mistake, as is her wont. and then carries on. Have you this guy? Do you know him at all?
He sort of looks and says, "There's some vague familiarity, I suppose, but I couldn't place him."
Okay.
Well, he's big in military circles, certainly.
But he could work well out the back. He's coming over for a minute in a bit. Actually, we're sorting some business out. I'm sure afterwards we could drop in and you could meet him when our business is done, if you want. I'm sure he would be. I'm sure he lives elsewhere in Morse's Pit. So I think at the moment, I'm sure he would be delighted for a skilled and proficient person to run that side of things. But I think, honestly, between you and me, I think he'd be a little bit lost with it.
Where's Morse's Pit?
It's what was it? It's a couple of hours out into the desert that way. In one of the dugout craters.
Used to be occupied by Lara's band.
Oh, you're them. Right, that makes sense.
We're not them.
We're not them. Oh.
No, not
We're
them.
upstanding members of society.
This is how rumours start.
Them. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to make things better for people one step at a time.
Well, that was a big step. Congratulations.
That's good to hear, I think.
So if you sorry, carry on. Yeah.
No, you go. I think you're about to.
I was just going to talk business. It's quite boring.
I think you're about to ask exactly the same thing I was. Go for it.
So if you are wanting to, and this is all dependent, of course, on a meeting that we're going to have about this. If you're wanting to set up and take on, a chunk of it, I'm assuming you would be able to split the cost of it with us then.
Yeah, details to be negotiated,
Okay, fantastic.
but I could go in as part owner,
Okay, works for us.
buy out a chunk of it, and we'd work out how to split the business, I guess.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. I think we can. I think details can be decided. But what do you think, Stefan? That sounds pretty good to me. It's a big space.
It does. It certainly does, and it is a very big space, and it'd be good to have somebody on board who knows a little bit about this kind of industry, I suppose, and already has an established setup of regulars. Bring some atmosphere to the place.
I didn't even notice the Feast of Koresh. Agnar, why didn't you tell us this? I feel embarrassed.
I mean, I could tell you every time there's a Varga festival going on, but I'm sure eventually you'd get bored of it.
Only when we're going into Varga taverns. I don't want to embarrass myself again. I want to wear the right hat or the right bracelet, or carry the right drinking utensil.
Feast in the right manner.
Exactly. It's only respectful, isn't it?
That is true. I tell you what, I'll next time we buy a printers, I'll get a physical calendar printed up, and we can stick it on the Baltic Star. I'll get two. We can stick one up in the safari business as well.
Oh, that would be actually lovely. Thank you. That'd be very helpful. And Ben, I'm guessing they just while away the chatting and talking and that until yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit more business. You can roughly suggest that if in essence the safari business will buy rooms off his half of the business for its customers.
Yeah.
So in essence, they'll work as a subcontract, then he'll go in 50-50 on the building.
So 50-50, and then we rent the rooms, which theoretically, if we've got people living in them, they can pay pretty much directly to him, I guess.
So you can take them as needed, and when you don't have safari guests, he'll find he'll run it as his own hotel, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get safari, he gets the.
So for the purposes of gameplay expediency, you're now responsible for buying half the building, not all of the building.
Okay. Can Stefan at one point he'll butt in and just say, my one stipulation on this business arrangement is free brunches whenever we happen to be in town, which is likely to be very rarely. It must be said. We're just out where we go. Can we say where we're going? We're off out into the middle of nowhere for a prolonged period of time.
Years, probably.
To be honest, the middle of nowhere could be describing here as well, but sure.
But yes, as long as the four of us and the crew of the Baltic Star, they could flash their little ID badge, can get free brunches when we're on planet. That would be
well, sure.
my only stipulation. Not. Very good of you.
And as long as the name Grey Hill Best could be involved on the menu somewhere, it would be appreciated. The best brunch or something.
If you want.
Thank you. That would be much appreciated.
We can commemorate it somehow, yes.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you very much. The Feast of Best. Maybe.
Oh, that's next Wednesday.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's already commemorated. This is great.
Agnar looks over in disgust. He's now an established traditionalist. There'll be no joking about feasts.
It's been the feast of whatever for thousands of years.
Yeah. As you sort of glance around, you notice there is a little thing on the wall which has a little sort of electronic display and indicates upcoming events and what have you. And one of the things that it occasionally goes to is, identifying that today is indeed the Feast of Koresh and tomorrow's Alame and the day after that's Presil and then Sagna. and it's giving you sort of a list of upcoming feasts, and it does appear that there's one for every day.
Fantastic. I look forward to coming back here in a few years and enjoying the Feast of Bast in our wonderful shared building.
Excellent stuff. Okay, it's at about this point that you get notification that Telon Rack has arrived and has parked out at the back of the government building.
Well, looks like, Agna, it looks like your friend has arrived. Should we go and greet him?
Yes. Let's not leave him waiting. He's helping us out after all.
Yes.
Assuming you two are, assuming leadership is done with business.
Oh yes. We're as he's your friend mostly. We're happy to let you take the lead in this short period of time.
No, it's fine.
No, it's okay. It's under our...
We should continue as we plan
it's
to.
It's under our umbrella. It's like when a scout leader allows a scout to choose where to pitch the tent. You know, we'll still wave you away from boggy ground if needed. But please, take this power given to you and lead the way.
How were the tents in the scout corps?
Oh, very, very little atmosphere, it must be said.
I can imagine.
Okay, so you head out and down the side alley, past the building you've just been discussing. You cast a slightly guilty glance at the little turn off halfway down where you murdered a random horrible person, and make your way down to literally the edge of the desert. Wandering out and round the corner, you find that parked directly outside those big rear gates at the back of the yard is indeed Rack's G carrier, which has now clearly been repainted. He's been doing some work on it. It looks really quite smart. He's gone for a what you might call a Dilub Rou themed camouflage pattern. Perhaps he feels comfortable with such things, and it is painted in wavy patterns of sort of brown and black and reddish grey, all the way across it. It's looking quite smart.
Why, Spurs? I was so happy tonight. You just want to fess up. No, fess.
And as you turn around the corner, a couple of steps around is all you get before the hatch on the side opens, and Rack drops down, wearing lightweight but combat armor. And moments later, behind him, Amelia Jax drops down as well, dressed similarly, cradling a fairly substantial-looking Gauss rifle in her arms. And they walk over towards you and they say, "Right, so where's the violence?" And I think that's where we'll take our break.
Very good.
A prelude to violence.
Straight from brunch to drinks to violence.
It's how it always works. That's the problem.
Pretty much.
It started
Pretty
brunch
much.
far too early in the day.
Brunch, business, violence.
Oh. Okay, so on that bombshell, we will break for 5 minutes. Please, we'd appreciate it if you stayed. Come back for the toast, and then carry on. But, grab the loo, grab a drink, do what you need to do, and hopefully we'll see you in a few minutes. Now, let me sort this out. Bear with me. Do-do-do, that needs to go. Do-do-do, that needs to go. Do-do-do, that needs to go. Do-do-do. Oh, where's the break? There it is. Do-do-do, that needs to go. Then we need to do-do-do. We need to put the music on. But
Don't
not
forget the music.
video. I know the music. That's what I'm doing now. That's it. We take that off. Now the music's on, so that should work. Okay. Now I'll turn the three of us off, and we'll see you guys Good evening / morning, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of The Boys from the Baltic Star. If you're tuning in late, you'll have missed us talking about real estate and drinking Bloody Marys. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half, but I don't think it's going to be quite the same. It could be, who knows. But before we do, there is a really, really, really important tradition, which at the moment is falling upon me to carry out, which is a real honourable position, it must be said, and that is a toast to a very important lost comrade. An NPC, there didn't used to be like 4 boxes and then that tragedy happened. It's an NPC who you can see in the poster there. And as I've been doing the last few weeks, I've been writing poetry. I'm a very creative person with a very delicate soul, as some of you all know. And as we also know, it's now very respectful for all of us, whether you are in chat or on screen, to hold your glass up for the full length of this poem for the toast. It's respectful, and we need to see that, please, from my 2 comrades. Thank you very much. Don't let it shake. It's got to be solid. It's what he would have wanted. Look at him. Look at his look how strong his forearms are. That's it. Take that. Okay. Here we go. But not take that tonight. So, just a little poem. All right. I hope you like it. It's dedicated to Grey Hill Bast. You saw me standing by the wall, corner of the main bar, and my change is falling on that wooden bar. All alone ain't much fun. I'm looking for a thrill, and you know just what it takes and where to go. But don't pour a drink for me now. Save it till the morning after. Don't pour a drink for me now. Save it till the morning after. Feel that burn deep on the inside after chugging down the double whiskey. If I can, I'll see in that glass all the fire. I'm going to take a chance. Like all drinkers can't find another way. You don't have to drink it all. Just live a day. So don't pour a drink for me now. Save it till the morning after. Don't pour a drink for me now. Save it till the morning after. He always served you what you needed, when you needed, even if you didn't know it yourself. The late, great Grey Hill Bast.
Grey Hill Bast.
To Grey Hill Bast.
Magical. I don't know how you come up with these things.
Oh man, I'm a poet, I tell you. It takes a lot of thought.
They do get better and better every week. It has to be said. I was a little bit worried, especially was it the first week. No, it's very good. Heartfelt.
That was heartfelt. I poured my heart into it. Thank you. Definitely didn't just make it all up about a minute beforehand. Okay. No, of course not.
Well, of course you didn't.
Of course
How could anyone achieve such a thing?
Exactly. Nonsense. Okay. On that
I mean,
box.
it would be on brand, though.
Yeah, it would be. Classic. Okay. Enough of that. Where are we at? What's going on? Who are you?
To Grey Hill, to
Grey
Grey
Hill.
Hill, to Grey Hill.
Oh, there's lots of to
All
Grey
the
Hills.
Hills.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a lot of slurping. I'll combine it into one swig. This is very floral, this wine that I've opened. Oh.
I'm on the Chianti tonight. Lovely.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I finished off a bit of a Cabernet Sauvignon, a South African Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm on to a Rioja. I normally quite like a Rioja, a Spanish Rioja, but this is quite floral. Oh, that's why it's got cinnamon and vanilla. That explains a lot.
Ooh.
Oh, lovely. And it'll improve. Very optimistic note here. This wine will continue to improve in bottle up to 10 years. Ah!
Chance would be a
Chance of it, that's the dream, maybe.
Funnily enough, I am on my favourite Rioja as well tonight.
Oh, what a night. I thought you seemed happy.
It's not enough anymore, Ben and Luke. They need to be washed down with a good rioja to bring out the joy. It's not true.
Almost nothing we say is.
At least you're still at the stage where it has to be a good rioja.
So we rejoin as our heroes, in the company of Tilon Rack and Amelia Jax, are picking their way through the outskirts of the ring and on their way to Umma's rooms.
Yes.
Can I have everybody roll a quick streetwise check for me, please?
In there.
Let's mix them up this time. I'll do Stefan first.
Oh, that's not very traditional.
Well, it worked out alright though, because that's a 9 plus 2.
Is it streetwise and intellect, wasn't it? Or just...
Yeah, streetwise with intellect.
So, doesn't really matter for Stefan. He'd
Cara hit a 6.
wouldn't get any other pluses.
Plus 2 is 8. So Cara hit an 8. Soraya.
Oh no.
Oh.
And Agnar did almost as badly as last time. He rolled a 3. Minus 3 is a 0.
Is it because he's excited that Rack's here?
I think at this point it's just becoming tradition.
You'll be delighted to know that Rax and Amelia, Tilon and Amelia both rolled 3s as well. So
that's because
it's like a formation now.
4 plus 2 for Soraya is a 6.
Okay.
Not very observant bunch.
You make your way along and round a couple of corners until you can see the corner of Umma's rooms in front of you. It's looking just as down at heel as it did the last time you saw it, and nobody appears to be visible outside.
Don't know why.
Soraya turns to everyone else and says, well, I'd quite like to go in first of all. Does anyone fancy coming in as my new friend before everyone piles in behind us?
Agnar will say, where were the rooms? Do you have to go through her place to get into the room?
You have to go through it to get to the back alleyway, right? And then from there it's upstairs. That's right, Ben, was it? Through into courtyard area and then upstairs. Am I remembering that correctly?
No, if you want to go into the front room, you just walk in straight off the street.
I meant you meant the bedroom, right, Ewan?
Yeah, the bedroom is out the back and then upstairs. Yeah.
Okay. I was only thinking, if we needed to, if we wanted to get people out, if it gets a little, pardon the pun, and he'll look over to Rack Harry.
Well, so I'll say Cara, to you and I don't know, do you and Stefan when we go through, do you and Stefan wanna head straight up? Me and Agnar will do the talking. Well, Agnar will do the talking, I'll do the smiling. And if the two of you can get straight through, make sure that everyone's okay if need be. Is that what you're thinking, you, and make sure that there's no innocent worth sending people through?
I was only thinking it might be interesting to see, there could be loads of people in there. There could be no one in there. The conversation could go really well, and it might just be better just to get everyone else and burn the place to the ground.
What is this? Where does this Ewan come from?
It's the rioja.
I think we need to take this off you.
No. I was just curious about looking after, innocent bystanders.
Well,
victims.
If things go wrong, we can send a couple of people running upstairs quite quickly, right? If need be.
Yeah, sure.
So I will turn to Rack and say, are you willing to give us a couple of minutes before violence breaks out?
I mean, as long as you need.
Fantastic. How about Jax? Jax, are you okay with that?
Oh, sure.
Fantastic.
Stefan will just turn to Soraya and say, does your conversation need a show of muscle, or
Yeah. Why don't you? It'll be nice.
Not me.
Oh.
I mean, have you seen my
if
muscles?
you were suggesting, you're definitely not the weakest among us.
Well, no, that's true. That's true. But I'm sure there are stronger.
But
I'm happy to do it if you want, but you know.
You are the man that killed her main bodyguard man.
I don't know if that's a good thing in this situation or not. I'll come in with you. Of course I will.
You come in.
You know me.
Everyone else just lurked by the door, waiting on my signal, I guess, to come in for more bulk.
Or gunshots.
Yeah, more gunshots, more
the
bulk.
Signal or gunshots.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And Sarah will walk up to the door and hold it open for Stefan and say,
"Okay."
It's an airlock. Is it an airlock for the main bit? Isn't it? I think
it is.
Yeah. After you.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. Check for sand crates. We haven't been doing that enough.
Turn around.
Okay.
All right. You walk through into the room. If you remember, this is a fairly large single long room with a sort of desk counter in the middle directly opposite the entranceway, and then two little sofa areas, one on each side.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk in, you see Umma in her usual seemingly location in the right hand side of that, and she's sitting with a young woman you recognize, Harel, who you were shown to your rooms by.
Yes.
There are three other young women sitting at the other end in the other area with the sofas there.
So on the right hand side is Umma and Harel, and on the other side.
The other side are three other young women, and you don't recognise any of them.
So on left are three young women. What sort of as we sort of first come in and sort of do those first glances around, what sort of state do the three young women seem to be in? What are they sort of doing?
I think you should roll a streetwise check for that.
I'm very upset you're not giving it to me for free.
And you can have intellect with that.
Okie dokie. Okay, +2. Sounds like we're actually playing by some rules or something.
Shocking, I know.
Structured dice
It's
rolls.
unbelievable. 8 + 2 is 10.
Okay. Your first thought is that the three of them look oddly turned out, given where they are. They look cheaply but quite smartly dressed, if you know what I mean. Almost stylish, but with very cheap clothes.
Okay. Soraya whispers to Stefan, you play along. You play along with me, yeah?
Of course, yeah. Can Stefan having a quick glance around, see if anyone's armed?
Good call.
Obviously armed.
Can you do a recon check for me, please, with intellect?
Yes, I can. I can attempt to. That is an 8 plus nothing. Minus nothing is an 8.
Okay. There is no obvious sign of a weapon on display, no.
Cool. Yeah, of course I will. That's why I came along.
Oh, I really wish I hadn't eaten that crisp. Soraya will...
Brunch.
It's the brunch. Oh my goodness. Soraya will remove her mask as they're inside. And she'll say, Umma, Harel?
Hello. Friends of yours?
She points to Stefan. and says, he is actually a long-term friend. His name is Philip. And, when I first got over and we sort of, the place that we were staying fell through, he was one of the people that sort of made sure I got through that first night, and he's a lovely man. And I was wondering if there was any way you could accommodate Philip, not for a bed, mind you, accommodate in another way, I guess.
Umma walks over with quite a big smile on her face and says, yes, of course, Philip. Let me introduce you to the girls. And sort of holds out an arm to shepherd you towards the other side of the room.
Philip will remove his face mask, hand it over to Sarai. Will buckle it to his belt, I guess, whatever the not wearing state of it is. And nod to Sarai and take her arm.
Okay. Umma walks you over to the three young women, and says, "This is Sharil, Fleek, Neris, three of my girls. They'll take very good care of you, I'm sure." And then she leaves you and walks back towards the middle of the room.
He'll, as she turns away, he'll just say, "Have you anybody else on location?"
Well, of course.
I don't mean to be rude.
It's because 3 isn't always enough for you, is it, Philip? You've told me you have very insatiable needs.
Of course, Harel is available, but she is very expensive.
Oh, Philip, I said this was a treat. I can't make for Harel as well.
You've heard the lady, but thank you.
Okay. She leaves you to the delights of the three young women, and walks back over to Soraya.
He'll sit down and he'll engage in casual conversation, but he'll sort of be more like yes and knowing and trying to hear what is going on with Soraya and keeping an eye over in that general direction.
Okay.
If that makes sense. He's more worried about his friend, than the ruse, I suppose.
Absolutely. Okay. Soraya?
So are they... So is the idea that the 3 girls and Philip are just chatting away and giggling in the other side room?
But it's all in the same room.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I think Umma is expecting him to choose one, and then they will go back and do what people do.
Savaya will say, will lean into Umma and say, he was very good to me, and I have come into a little money today. How much to treat him to all 3?
All 3? Well, as you're a resident here, I can probably do you a little bit of a discount. Let's say 200 for the hour.
sounds reasonable. Do you mind if I go over and just check that Philip is happy?
Of course.
Soraya wanders over to Stefan and says, out as best of out, it sort of pulls him away from the girls, I guess, and says, play along. Can you get these girls, I guess, out of here? And if you get a chance, just have a quick check that there's no one else easily sort of in danger, if that makes sense, that could be in danger.
Yeah. I mean, I can have a look around. How do you want me to get them out of here? You know, take them to see a movie or something.
I'm guessing you're going to a special place. Just,
do you mean out of this room? That's right.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what she'll mean. Unless
sure.
unless you want to take Harel as leverage.
I don't know who do you want to make sure is safe? I will remove them from the vicinity and then I'll come back once I hear, a commotion.
Make sure the 3 girls are safe.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Cool. She goes back over and says, all 3 would be wonderful for Philip. And she takes out a credit chip, because I know we've got a few left from Lara's band, and hands over 200 credits.
All right.
Sort of shouts out, Philip, this is real thanks for all you've done for me this last day or 2. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Remind me in the future to be just as kind.
All right. The 3 girls get the nod from Umma. They stand up and, a couple of them take one each of Philip's arms and gently pull him out through behind the sort of desk counter thing, out through the door at the back of this room, which leads down a short corridor to another airlock. There they put on masks, and Philip will have the opportunity to do the same. The airlock's not huge, but they're standing pretty close, so it's not difficult, the 4 of you squeezing in. It cycles reasonably quickly, and you step out into that dingy little back alley between the 2 buildings, with the stairs up just to your left. And they walk straight across the alley and in through a door on the other side of the building behind. And this is again an airlock process, but you're used to these. It's not particularly surprising. Once inside, they immediately turn to the left and take you through to a fairly well-appointed bedroom. Again, there's nothing expensive here, but it's perfectly nicely laid out, and bed's fresh made, and it all looks reasonably clean and tidy. And there's a fresher off to one side, and the 3 of them close the door, one of them making a little a twist of a sign outside it to indicate that it's occupied. And then they turn to you and stand expectantly. One of them leans forward and says, "So, what would you like?"
Just quickly, Ben, that first airlock out of the room with Umma in, is it obvious from the inside of that room what state the airlock is in? Is there like a big light above the door or a display showing?
There's a red and green light indicating whether it's safe to open the door.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. And no, that's fine actually. Stefan will just say, "Oh, sorry. if you'll excuse me, this was I was supposed to leave this with my friend. She had some business to take care of. I'll be back, and he'll make his way out the airlock.
Okay.
Can he, as he leaves the second door and the second door starts shutting, can he jam it open with something so that nobody can get out, get in?
He can try. So this is the outer door you want to jam?
Wait, no. Yes, it is. It is the outer door. Otherwise, I'm going nowhere.
Okay. So you want to jam the outer door?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to suggest that to do that, you're going to need to do some thinking about it. So what are you going to try to jam it with, first of all?
I would imagine a pebble. It's a sizable rock.
Okay.
In the vicinity, if there is such a thing.
Have a glance around and roll for me a streetwise check with intellect.
That is a 5 plus 2. It's a 7.
Okay, glancing around, there's a lot of dust, but you can't see anything rocky enough to block the door.
Oh, what have I got? What have I got? What have I got? Not a lot. I tell you what. If there's nothing immediate and obvious, he won't bother. He will just return back to the first airlock. What state is it in?
The doors tend to close automatically after a few seconds.
Yeah.
The light indicates that it's green.
Okay. So he will, as quickly as possible, I suppose, get the door open, get inside and shut the door.
Okay.
And then just wait until he hears something from the other side of the door, I suppose.
Okay. Are you cycling the airlock so that the light will go green on the inside, but not opening the door?
No, he will leave it in the state which he found it.
Okay.
That makes sense. So not cycling it.
So in essence, if he does hear something from in front of him, it'll take a few seconds before he can do anything about it because the airlock won't open until it's changed the air cycle over.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But it won't be obvious to anyone inside the room that it's been cycled.
Yep. Okay.
Or in theory.
All right. So we cut back to Soraya. Yes. There aren't actually stools, but there are a couple of reasonably comfortable looking armchair type things there. They come and go. There are different paths that people take. Not everyone chooses the same route in life, do they?
Oh, sorry, I was off because I was eating crisps. Sorry, Spaz. I asked if I was at the bar. I stood at the bar, and then I said, "Are there many girls you have who do that? Who sort of provide those services?" And then I said, "Were you expecting me to do those services as well?" And what did you say to that again, Ben?
Different people choose different paths.
And I suppose some people have those paths chosen for them, I guess.
It can happen.
You see, when I was a young girl, I grew up in a military family. My father was very well known and very highly respected in the military, and I always felt pressure to follow in his footsteps. Do you know what I mean? Like it was predetermination, as it were. But the pressure was too much. I chose differently, and but the key thing was I had the choice. You know, there was nothing forced on me. I chose my lot. I chose to spend the years on my own in the vast expanse. And if it's someone's choice to do that, it's a noble thing. It's people's choice. But if someone was to sneakily or slyly force someone to make a decision that served themselves instead of that person, now that would be evil, wouldn't you say?
Some people have it harder than others.
Some people are sleeping with no oxygen and giving every single penny they've got for that privilege, while others are making hundreds and thousands off the back of their desperation. Some people definitely have it harder than others.
It's true.
Can Sarai try and surreptitiously press the button on the communicator for those outside, I guess, to step into the airlock at least, as the pre-planned plan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you make a stealth check with Dex, please?
Yes, I can try.
Big roll.
It's a big roll. It's a big roll to 0. At least it's not negatives. Oh, it's a big roll. It's a big plan roll. Right, hang on. Get these dice warmed up. Okay, there we go. Okay, we'll see. It should be okay. It depends how good she is. That's a 9. It depends how good her eyes are, I guess.
Okay. If she noticed, you can't tell. She doesn't make any obvious sign. Mm-hmm. So the group outside is all together, I take it?
Yeah, I guess so. There's no reason not to.
And it is, so I understand this correctly, it is Agnar and Kara.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah.
And Telon Rack and Amelia Jax. Okay. It's pretty much instantly, because people are waiting for the notification that that they get the buzz pop up and they spot it. Are you also notifying Stefan, or arguably Philip, at the same time?
He's part of the same group chat, I guess, so he would know that there's a signal for be ready kind of thing.
Okay. So let's start with Stefan. What is he going to do when he receives the be on alert note?
Stefan will probably wait a few seconds. Call it 5 seconds. He'll count in his head for 5 Mississippis. And then he will start cycling the airlock.
Okay.
That he is in.
All right.
Hopefully long enough for any attention to be drawn away from him, but we will see.
And Agnar and Kara.
How long is the cycle process? We'd know how long the cycle process is from our... What's the regular...
For an airlock like this, it's a matter of 5-6 seconds, that kind of time. It's not very long.
I would assume, unless Agnar's feeling keen, stepping into it and making sure both doors are shut and being ready to press the button, unless Agnar wants to go in.
I don't know. Did we have a predetermined signal?
Not so. Well, only a signal of like when I press this button, be ready to enter. It's quite vague, so he'll take it how he takes it, I guess.
He's happy to yield to the general consensus, I suppose, of the group. He's not desperate to, barge in and start anything that's not necessarily going. So we'll look around, and if everyone's happy to wait there for a period of time, he will do the same.
Okay.
He's not going to push the button, basically.
Okay. So our heroes outside, crowd close to the door. Now, bear in mind, when they push the button, it'll take about 5-6 seconds before the outer door opens.
That's true. Put the inner door open.
Because the last person through went in.
Oh, went in. Yeah, of course.
Oh, so we need to get that door open at the very least.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start the process of going in, I guess. I'd want to be halfway. I'd want to be one button push away.
Yeah.
Rather than the whole process.
You want to be 5 seconds, not 10
But
seconds.
Agnar would. In theory. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus,
so
anyone could be just walking into their establishment.
Absolutely, yes. So
I'm sure.
you push the button and the lock begins to cycle. And Umma does notice that and glances across, but she doesn't seem particularly concerned. Far from it, in fact.
Okay. So I will stay sat at the bar. I just need to double check something on my sheet briefly before I go on. Okay. I'm guessing Umma will have seen that she's armed because we've all got guns in holsters at the minute. But that I've not reached for it in some kind of approach.
Gotcha.
So I will stay leant against the bar, and she'll say, it seems to me that Azurport is split between the haves, the have-nots, and those that make a living off the misery of the have-nots. And I don't think I've ever met anyone that charges people to sleep in a place with no air. It was a shock to me when I went up there. That is profiting off the most desperate people in this community.
Umma gives a little chuckle and says, "It's better than sleeping out where the Moamps roam."
Well, it's a funny thing you mention about sleeping out where the Moamps roam. See, you remember, your friend, God, I've ruined my whole vibe.
You mean Wyden Mordell?
Yeah, Mordell. You remember your friend Mordell?
Ben knows.
Yeah, thank you. You know what I was talking about. You know your friend Mordell.
What about him?
When me and my friend wandered off earlier, last night wasn't it? He followed us. Was that on your orders?
Of course not.
Why do you do a thing like that? An enterprising man?
Well, I don't know. He does things that he does.
Oh, he does things that he does. You see, my friend Philip, she says a bit louder, does what he does too.
Is that hearable through the doorbell?
I'm going to suggest.
Oh no! Warm them up.
What for hearing dice? What's the stat for hearing?
Warm up the hearing dice.
Hearing. Oh,
Yeah.
the hearing dice.
I think it's about how alert you are. So I'm going to go with a streetwise check for this. But can you do it with Dex instead? Your ability to remain quiet and tense.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. He's generous tonight.
It's a good thing as well because that's a 6 plus 4 is a 10.
Okay. Yes, you can just about hear it through the door.
He'll wait a second and then open the door and walk in dramatically.
Okay. Well, he's still got a little passageway to walk down before he's actually in the room.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk that length of the passageway and emerge behind that counter?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Dramatically.
It'll only take you a few seconds to make
with
that
dramatic timing.
Of course.
Not dramatically. He's not going to put on a show.
Umma looks up a little bit puzzled as to why you're back so soon. And Harel stands up and starts backing away as if her adrenaline is beginning to pump a bit.
Now, my friend, he's helped me out a lot, as I told you, and he helped me out last night when your man was following us. Isn't that right, Philip?
It is.
She was joking, Philip, about how people stay here because it's better than sleeping out with the Moamps.
Stefan starts laughing, I suppose, quite not uncontrollably, but a sensible.
Yeah, we're not talking Tasha's uncontrollable hideous sister here, are we?
No. But that's quite the choice words, I suppose. And I would agree. To some extent, I imagine, from a certain point of view, it would be much better than sleeping out with the Moamps. To some extent.
But don't we know? We know someone else that's been out with the Moamps recently, don't we? I think we took him out there ourselves, didn't we?
I can't remember their name, but it does ring a bell.
It was that guy from outside, wasn't it? What did you do to him, Philip?
The guy with half a face.
Yeah, half's very generous.
There's Umma's looking back and forth between the two of you, and she says, I hope you don't think you're going to start any trouble here. It would go very badly for you.
Oh, no, you mean there's only 2 of us after all. And it took that many just to take the face off your man, you know?
You didn't really do much, though, to be fair.
No, I cleaned up. I looked for his pockets and cleaned up the blood. I carried his legs.
I mean, there's 2 of us, there's 2 of you. It feels 50-50.
It's not really the way you think it is. She holds up a little remote control box and sort of just cocks her head towards the walls, sort of the ones that bar is sort of against, though obviously the bar only occupies the very center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, there are auto turrets behind those walls. I think you should leave.
Ben, does Stefan know much about auto turrets?
It's a fairly generic term. They are computer-controlled defense turrets with weapons mounted on them. She hasn't given you enough to know what kind of weapon they might be, and of course she could be lying. Yes.
Would he know if there's a way to discriminate between them and us, I suppose, is his main... would be his first thought.
Roll an education check. And I'm going to suggest, do you have a heavy weapons skill or something like that?
I believe he does.
You do.
Somewhere.
Definitely do.
In fact, yeah, he's got Man Portable 1 or Artillery 0.
Okay, yeah, it would be Man Portable. So Man Portable 1 plus education.
Well, that's good. That's a minus education for a straight roll, but I'll take it. That's a 7, alas.
Okay.
Possibly.
You may have heard that it is possible to design these things with a bit of AI in them. What's more common is that Umma might have on her person a device which means that the turrets could automatically not shoot her. An identification friend or foe device.
Like the thing that turns them on, I suppose, would be ideal.
It might, in fact, be exactly that,
yes. Stefan, I'll say, well, if they're auto turrets in that wall, it would certainly appear that some of us in this room would be in trouble. Probably all of us. And he'll look over to her colleague.
No wonder Harel's panicking.
Harel looks absolutely terrified.
Could I gauge from her terrification whether I believe this to be or Stefan believes this to be a true statement about the wall? Or is she more
a deception
terrified?
check with intellect for me.
Yeah. That's an 11 plus nothing, but
An 11.
it's an 11.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's literally true, but it would appear she believes it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And he'll continue looking around the room, just trying to be alert, I suppose, to their actions.
So Raya turns to Stefan and says, well, Kelly, you say that. There's another idea I've got, which we'll see if it rolls, I guess. So Raya turns to Stefan and says, well, come on. She can enjoy the 200. Hopefully, we've given her words to think on. Let's get out of here, Philip. Let's, let her enjoy her 200. Hopefully, she shares some with those girls. And so I starts walking towards the door, the entrance door.
Okay. All right. Umma makes no move to stop you leaving.
Stefan will follow, but he won't turn his back on anyone at this point.
So I'll press the. So they're cycled ready to come in, aren't they? Is that right? Yeah. So Raya will. Has she got a space where she's got her back? Can Umma see her all the way to the door, or is there a blind spot, depending on the seating area?
The seating isn't tall enough to obstruct vision.
Okay.
You're both going to be able to watch each other all the way to the door.
Okay. So Raya will walk to the door and press the button to open it, please.
Okay. Now, bear in mind, when you open the door, in that airlock, there are 5 people.
Yeah.
But it's not clear if Umma can see them. Bear with me a second. Umma doesn't appear to react to the fact there are 5 people in the airlock.
Okay. As Sarai enters, she'd like to whisper into Kara's ear, EMP.
All right. Okay. So the two of you are walking into the airlock.
Yes, please.
As you do, you're going to whisper to Kara. Can you roll a stealth with Dex for me, please, first of all?
A whisper check.
A whisper check.
Basically.
The old hearing check again.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're doing, yeah.
Was it stealth with what, sorry?
Stealth with Dex, please.
Okay, it's a 9. It's a flat 9, though. No, sorry, I'm just showing my dice. No pluses and minuses, just a 9.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you have it to hand. Can you remind me the stats on the EMP?
I've not got it to hand, but I can grab it very... Oh, I might actually. Let me double check my sheet. I'll definitely have full details very quickly. EMP is tech level 9. Do you want me to go check it out quickly?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
I may have it. EMP 119 or 140. Hold on a second. I'm scrolling.
Let me get my Central Supply catalogue available on Mongoose websites for travellers, full of cool stuff to buy.
Some free advertising, Mongoose.
Yeah, come on, Mongoose. I want a freebie at some point. Right, hang on, what are we looking for? EMP.
It's page 119 or 140.
119 or 140?
Or 140, yeah, depending on
electromagnetic
which
pulse.
type it is.
The grenade unleashes a burst of electromagnetic radiation that does not harm living tissue, but causes unshielded electronics to shut down for 1D minutes. Unshielded electronics more than 2 tech levels lower than the grenade, so TL7 or lower, will be permanently fried. Whereas electronics of more 2 tech levels higher, so have to be quite high, 11 is immune. It's a range of 20, tech level 9, blast 6.
Okay. All right. Can you roll an attack with the grenade, please?
Now what? I've not done a grenade attack in a very long time.
Okay, it's a straight dexterity.
Yep.
And if you have, yes, it's a straight dexterity for this.
Okay. It is a not bad. Ah, sorry. 8. Sorry, was that the right side? Sorry, I was not showing that 11 or whatever it was. It wasn't the 11. I wish. 8. It's an 11. Oh no, my fingers are in the way. No, it's an 8. Curses.
And do you get any bonuses for dex?
No, I've got a 0. Cara's a total 0, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. A certain amount of this is going to be down to reaction time.
I really need some dex.
So, can you roll some initiative for me, please, for Cara? I'm going to roll initiative for Umma as well.
Oh, well, I might do my boon for initiative if that's okay. Good timing, Cal.
It is okay.
Good boon. Thank you.
Is there a way that Cara can increase her dex? Can I do, like, overtraining? I could do athletics dex, right? As one of my training. Yeah. Because her dex of 0 hurts her, to be honest. It's quite frustrating. Okay. With a boon, which is huge. Kelly, that is huge. Thank you. Because my 3 dice are a 6, a 5, and a 3. So we can lose that one. Yoink!
An 11?
Which makes an 11.
Plus your choice of dex or int for initiative, remember?
13 then. Int.
13.
She does it with her brains, definitely not with her dex.
I saw this coming, not I reacted to this coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think I said it on Twitter yesterday. I really like the way it's the 2. Because it's 2 different people. Yeah. It's that I saw it coming on, I reacted quickly. I really like that.
Kelly, that was a very, very good boot.
Yes, Kelly! Wait a sec, where's the fist bumps one? Where's that gone?
If he'd needed that 3, it would not have been enough.
Oh, fist bump. Oh. Fist bump for the homies.
So.
I know, Kelly does love Cara. That's the thing. She's got her back. That's what I like about it.
Umma's reaction when she sees the grenade fly in is to dive for cover behind the sofa rather than engage her weapons. She makes the wrong choice, shall we say. And the grenade detonates. Make sure you scrub off the EMP grenade.
It's my last one.
Oh no.
Was that your last one?
There's no way Ben would be so mean that I can't find another EMP grenade anywhere.
Ever.
I'm not going to scrub it. I'm going to put times 0 because you know I'm going to be looking for them again sometime.
Sure, you're going to be looking for another one.
Yeah, man. They're good to have in my pocket.
The grenade detonates. There's noise, but it's not particularly loud. It's not an explosive device in the sense that you're sort of used to thinking about them. And other than that, nothing obvious happens.
Car returns to Agnar and the beefier crew and says, well, like motions them forward. So, come on, guys. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
All right. Rack and Jax immediately bundle in through the door and scan left and right. But they do have the advantage of seeing which way you were looking before you walked into the room. So they unsheath their weapons and get them pointed in that direction, spreading out, one to the back and one to the front of the room. Harel looks absolutely terrified still, like her life will be over any second. I mean, she was already terrified before grenades started flying and armed people with with angry expressions on their faces bursting.
Oh, I can only imagine how terrifying Rack must be in full battle mode. He's a man that's inspired millions of people to sign up to military service.
Exactly. Agnar will draw his shotgun and enter as well.
Okay.
He's probably less inclined to pay attention to the cowering. I don't know if that's a strong word or not, but that's the impression I get. Person who's fearing for their life and more inclined to hone in on the on Umma.
Okay. And can you roll the 1d6 for minutes, please, for me, Luke?
I can.
Before I forget.
Okay, so 5.
Okay. Brilliant stuff. As the party sort of comes in, Umma slowly picks herself up from behind the sofa. She's staring, confused, at the wall, clearly expecting something much more exciting to have happened. And after a moment, you see that she's just pressing this button on her controller over and over and over again in absolute bewilderment. But she's slowly raising her hands as well at the same time, to indicate that she's not putting up a physical fight.
Agnar will say, I may be old, but my eyesight isn't that bad. If you could put down whatever it is you're trying to press, that would help matters.
Yeah, could you roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect?
And
And you can have a boon for this.
Oh, sweet boon.
Useful. It's not Agnar's forte. But that does get me. I'm going to try and show them all at once. A 6, a 6, and a 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Minus 3.
Oh, so that was key then.
To be fair, for his persuade.
She drops it on the floor by her foot, and just keeps her hands up and visible.
And then I suppose at that point he looks over to Soraya and says, "Well, you're in charge now. What are we doing here?"
Agnar. Soraya walks over. Is it? Has she dropped the controller right by her feet? Or
Pretty much, yeah. Just on the ground at her feet.
Okay. Soraya will say, "Can you kick the controller over to me, please?"
Umma glances down and kicks it towards Soraya. It's not perfect, but it skitters close.
Okay, so she reaches down and picks it up, then, please.
Sure.
Soraya will say, "So, these are my friends, and
Agnar waves.
Hello.
really cheesy.
Not with his trigger finger, obviously.
I think I've got the perfect Agnar picture for it. Hang on. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Agnar. Oh, there we are. Agnar waves. It is. It's perfect. Agnar waves. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, pretty much.
So these are my friends. Now, 2 of them, they live on Dilub Rou now. And these are people that have fought with us in the past for justice, for fairness, for honesty. Not you, Agnar. You do it all the time, mate, my friend. But you don't live here at the moment. Now, would you, if I served you up food from out back, would the two of you happily eat it? Right now, right here.
Umma shakes her head in silence. Harel looks confused.
Umma, why wouldn't you eat the food that's back there? Why don't you tell Harel?
Roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect.
With intellect and big guns. Okay. With what? With intellect, did you say?
With intellect, yep.
Oh, where's Sarai's thing? Why am I getting Sarai to talk? It's really bad. Okay, plus one. Arvad. Okay, it's a 7. Plus 1 is 8.
Okay. Umma gives you a sort of smirk and says, "You don't scare me."
Well, no, I'm a tiny little woman, and you've ruined the lives of many like me. No, I don't scare you. How about Jax? Does Jax scare you?
She looks around to see if she can work out who the hell is Jax, and Jax gives her a sort of nod of acknowledgement, and she looks at her and says, "I don't take shit from people anymore. You want to shoot me? Just get it over with."
Can Agnar jump in and just quickly say, just because you don't take shit from people doesn't mean you have to give it to them?
Oh, Agnar.
She slowly begins lowering her hands.
I wouldn't.
She's not seeming to go for anything like a weapon. No sudden moves, but she's lowering her hands.
We know some nuns out in the desert. Do you know them at all?
Side note.
Yeah, side note. Yeah, just thought we'd have a nice chat while we're here. I don't know. Do you know any of them? It's the if I can find what they're called. I've actually got them. The nuns of the Patagon. My writing's terrible.
The Priory of Panunzio?
Panunzio, yeah. Oh my goodness.
The one.
How late in the night did I write that? The Priory. Do you know the Priory of Panunzio?
Know of it.
Oh. A lot of marks around as well, right?
Sure.
I know you don't care enough. That, man. We know what you're up to. We know that you drug the food. We know that you take advantage of these women. We know that you bring misery to those whose lives are already miserable. And to be honest, they're already doing a massive service that they don't, that's been thrust upon them to the community. We got our friends here are going to head back to home, and I'm sure they'd be willing to drop you off outside the priory. And I guess you've got you can go and live with the nuns, or you can try and walk home across the desert, I guess. I could kill you.
At this point, Stefan will look over to Soraya and he'll just say she's not going to stop.
You think are you saying I'm being too nice to her? How about you, Soraya will turn to Harel. How about you, Harel? What's your part in all of this?
She seems to have partly recovered her wits. She says, I don't pay rent here.
Do you pay it in other ways, Harel?
You could say that. She's got a gun as well.
Agnar shout across whereabouts.
Back of her belt.
And he'll keep an eye out for any movement behind the back, I guess, of the hands.
Umma looks at Harel and doesn't seem to have a lot of fondness for her at the moment.
I'm assuming you're happy to let someone take the gun off you, Umma. I'm assuming you're happy for someone to take that gun from you right now.
She looks you square in the eye and says, "You're not taking it from me."
Soraya looks at Harel and says, Harel, things are changing here. Would you like a job? Away from this, doing something honest. Actually doing things for the betterment of this town.
Harel says, "Yes, but Umma owns me."
Soraya would like to pull she'd like to pull her fancy Gauss pistol. You know, the nice she carries around.
Yeah.
She wants to pull that out and point it towards Umma, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And say, Umma owns nobody. And I'm going to pull the trigger, please, Ben.
Okay. So that is the Gauss pistol gives you a bonus, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. There's some good bonuses on this, if I remember correctly.
Hang on 1 second. I do have it in front of me
one.
somewhere. So it's your slug weapon plus dex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's flechette pistol, isn't it?
Yes.
So AP1. Right, it doesn't give a bonus to hit, but it's got armor penetration bonus and damage bonus.
Okay.
It is a silent weapon with AP 1.
Okay, so I've got slug plus my 1, did you say as well?
Yeah, dex plus
Yep.
your slug.
Yep.
And at that range, there are no minuses at all, I think.
Right, then that's very good then. That's an 11.
That really is good. Are you firing... yes, it's a flechette. You're firing a single hit. It's
Yes.
AP 1.
Yes, please, yeah.
So that's a plus 3 over the 8. Can you please roll 3D plus 4 for me?
Okay, I will. Let's use those two dice. That dice is not brilliant, isn't it? 3D plus 1, did you say? 3D
Plus 4.
Okay. That is 11 plus 4 is 15.
As soon as Stefan has the whereabouts to realise what's going on, he will also fire.
Okay. What
Whatever
is
that
Stefan
may be.
firing?
He'll have to spend time, I assume, to open up his laser hand, and pew from that.
Well, if it's his finger gun, so to speak,
Yeah.
that's essentially instant.
Okay.
That will be as fast as it took for Soraya to raise her weapon.
Okay. But I guess that he will fire when he sees Soraya. Fine.
Okay. So that's it's a beam this time, an energy weapon, plus dex.
Yeah. Which is that's a 10 on the dice, plus 4 is 14.
Whoa.
Okay, and what damage does that do?
I've got it down as 3D plus 3.
3D plus 3, so that's 3D plus 7.
Which isn't huge. So 14 total.
14. Okay.
Between us, that's not bad, though, Stefan.
The 2 shots hit her, and you can immediately see from the impacts that she is wearing some armor, some kind of protective clothing. Her sort of environment suit that she's wearing does provide some protection. Those 2 shots, however, both seem to punch through it, and she opens her mouth as if to sort of say something, but nothing comes out. Her eyes roll back. She falls hard against one of the sofas and then slumps in a completely unresponsive heap onto the floor. There is a sort of high-pitched scream from Harel, who's not used to this kind of thing. And with that sound ringing in your ears, we'll call it for tonight.
Oh, no, Ben, please.
The sound of screaming.
3 more hours.
It's how all my evenings end.
It seemed like a good moment to punctuate it with a thing.
Exactly. I know, Kelly. I'm worried that Jax is going to be really disappointed. But to see violence,
That is a very good point. We promised them some violence. To be fair.
We didn't say whether they would do it or not, to be fair.
That's true.
They at least got to got to witness some violence.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, you've got to take what you can get, don't you? Exactly, Kelly.
That EMP.
That EMP, man.
Oh, that EMP. Man, that was good.
I
dread to think.
Because when you said
What would have happened?
it was clever, because when you said about those guns, I know me and you and both had what's the next step? How do we walk out of here with our heads held high? Or dive to the ground? That's why I ran to my sheet and double checked.
Yeah, that was a very, very good move.
It was a very, very
like
good
that.
purchase some time ago.
That's it. I know.
To be fair.
I had 2 of them for absolutely ages, and I used one on a laptop. Finally, one with so much.
Yeah. A laptop in a sealed case.
An hour of sniffing a laptop.
Yes, the laptop was not the finest hour of EMP devices, it has to be said.
This one, however.
I'm never going to get that evening back. That's the worst thing.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, it did lead to the laptop sniffing exercise. The game of Sniff the Laptop was a legendary moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. It will live long in infamy. Well, thank you, Ben.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you everyone in chat as well. It's been a lot of fun tonight.
It has indeed. It's been a roller coaster ride. I feel, but it has been a lot of fun.
A roller coaster of love, as the song once went.
That is the song, I believe.
Oh, thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Ali. Thanks. Socks was on a little bit ago, so thank you if you're still here as well, Socks. Thanks everyone else, because there are a number of viewers in, so thank you, the lurkers. Thank you, all you lot. We love you all. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ben, for sitting there for 45 minutes listening to our settling down plans, like an old married couple.
It is our brand.
I think Ben has grown accustomed to us taking, 2 hours to do something that would take less than 2 hours in game to actually do. To be fair, and he's very good at it.
Well, we have our own approach to things, don't we? Our own style, and it's essentially what we did before we streamed, so it's what we're still doing now.
That is true. It's very consistent, if nothing else.
That's true. Oh, I can't find the fist bump. I tell you what, I'll do something else instead. I'll throw out a fess. Everyone loves a
fist bump for the homies.
I did while we actually before we finish. I did add a reward which I haven't told anyone about yet. I don't think I haven't brought it up. I just stuck it in because I saw it on another stream, so I added it. I hope everyone's okay. For 800, and it's too late to now. For 800 credits, it's called Regale Us with a Tale, which means during the conversation, someone can regale it, and one of the PCs has to tell a tale from their past. As just a little bit of something. It can be really short. This reminds me of the time, or something like that.
Yeah, that's actually quite good. Little bit of sort of incidental character depth, so to speak.
Yeah. I like to think we could throw it at one of our favoured NPCs as well. I feel, Ben. Would you be happy with that from your end?
Yeah, of course.
Yep. Brilliant. I saw it from another stream and I was like, oh, I do like that. Yeah, like a Save Dave, like a little flashback.
Yeah, nice. Which combines well with if you're making one.
There's a whole... People just keep flashbacking.
Yeah. 3 hours later.
3 hours of flashback.
And that's the stream, everyone.
Stories of people's childhood. You think, it's like the Four Yorkshiremen sketch. Well, your childhood was hard.
Lick the motorway clean, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a Rose's cat, Ben, by the way. I'll reach for the...
Excellent.
Reach for the cat hat.
The cat hat.
It's a cat hat on.
Totally doesn't fit on my head.
No, you made them so little.
I know.
Meanwhile, on the Baltic Star, the ship was beginning to come to life more generally. The next phase of its restart sequence included life support and the main internal power grid. One by one, each compartment woke up. Its lights, atmosphere systems, doors, computer systems, and internal power points coming on one at a time. Once each had been tested, it was returned to its pre-shutdown state, so the ship fell mostly dark again, though there was still the faint sound of moving air. In the hold, the egg incubator came online at the same time as the lights, the eggs slowly rotating on their glowing plinth. As the lights went out, That glow became the only light left in the hold, apart from a few tiny status indicators on the lift. None of this was witnessed by Rose's cat, Caboodle, as engineer Kron Sarama rushed across the space station concourse. His carefully constructed cat carrier, a modified holdall, had unexpectedly collapsed, and he was aware that the kitten inside was now left with very little wriggle room, a problem since wriggling was one of her favourite activities. In a few moments he reached a small cafe with large windows overlooking the concourse. He threw himself into a chair, placed the holdall on the table, and carefully pulled the bag open. Immediately a small furry head appeared in the gap, peering out at the world. Within seconds, the establishment's current operator had vaulted the counter and was staring excitedly at the kitten. Just moments after that, the entire customer base had joined in. Exhausted line workers, hard-bitten Marines, calm naval officers, all were entranced to see a cat, something some I'd have never seen before. Even those who were more familiar with mammalian pets were, on this station, far from home, in a place where cats were an uncommon sight. Caboodle, her plan having worked flawlessly so far, was careful not to overplay her hand. She climbed out of the holdall very slowly, as if the unfamiliar territory made her nervous. It did not. She slipped down onto the table and, again careful to set up her opportunity, curled up on the smooth surface. The crowding faces around her were making encouraging noises, but none was trying to touch her, presumably waiting for permission. Caboodle needed to wait for the perfect moment. Sure enough, once Sarama had satisfied himself that the kitten was staying put, he reached his hands into the holdall to press the plastic hoops back into place, making sure the bag would not collapse again. The very instant that both Sarama's hands were inside the bag, Caboodle made her move. With all the speed she could muster, she uncoiled like a clock spring, sprinting across the table and leaping for a gap between two startled humans. She hit the ground harder than expected, but rapidly recovered and sprinted for the door onto the concourse. It was open.
Oh no! She's out. She's out on wild in the concourse. Caboodle! She's rushing off to get Richard back. She misses him.
Thank you, Sparrow. Thank you,
That was another classic.
Spares.
So I do fear the Luke comment that actually we are going to return to a ship full of Moabs. I mean, I know it's going to be happening anyway, but I feel as though the timeline is encouraged by all of these Rose's cats.
Yeah, exactly. It actually becomes a reality.
Mm.
Schrodinger's Moab is no more.
A much more perceivable reality, at least. Yes, indeed. But it is great. It's all great to hear.
Absolutely.
Ship of Moabs.
Exactly.
Ruled by a kitten. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, that would be a great one-shot.
Oh, yeah.
Kitten throne, surrounded by an army of Moabs.
You said walk back onto the Baltic Star, and there's Caboodle, walks towards you, and then out of the shadows lumbers three young Moamps at her beck and call.
It's like an James Bond moment with a cat, but ironically the cat is it's not the cat.
The cat sort of rubs itself against one of the Moamps, which settles down.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I know cats don't look like supervillains, but if you've ever met one, you know there is a supervillain lurking behind every cat's eyes.
Every cat is a supervillain. That's absolutely certain.
It's a nice thought, anyway. Maybe one day we'll jump into that madness.
Anyway, thank you, Sparrow, for requesting Rosie's cat. I always enjoy them.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's good stuff. That's always a joy to finish with.
What madness have we got going on tomorrow, Luke?
You know, there is actual madness tomorrow, you know. We're playing...
we've got Suggs on.
Suggs is actually on stream. He's going to do that little walk and everything. He's going to have a little pork pie hat. It's going to be so cool. We're playing episode 1 proper of Orbital Stars.
Blues?
Orbital Blues. What's that? Orbital Stars? What is Orbital Stars? I'm thinking of Suggs.
Well, I could tell you, but, then I'd have to kill you.
I'm thinking of Suggs. That's the problem. Orbital Blues. We're playing Orbital Blues. There's no stars. Well, there's one star. It's dying.
There will be stars.
There's one star that you're sort of orbiting around with your blues. Yeah, we're playing Orbital Blues starting tomorrow. That is Ben, that is Ewan, and that is the sock fiddler herself. Our crew of... What's your ship called again, Ewan?
Oh, God, I'm going to have to...
I can't remember. I do have it written down.
I know it.
It's the
Alkan.
Alkanos.
Yeah, well done.
The Alkanos. Thanks, Luke.
The Alkanos. That's it. The crew of the Alkanos. They've reached the subtler system, and who knows what awaits them.
I suspect there may be some drinking.
You've been in one bar already, and there's more in the system.
Yeah. Yeah, basically we're planning to do a tour of all the system's bars.
Okay, I'll make a note. I'll make sure those bits are ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Specifically, jazz and blues bars underneath railway tracks, if we can get them in space.
You know what?
Those are good.
I've actually got just the space for. I've got just the spot for you. There is one that does. I'm not going to tell you which one, but there is one that gets a lot of jazz and gets some bands in and stuff.
One of those places that's like a cafe upstairs and a brasserie downstairs, and at the back of the brasserie there's a sort of jazz stage.
Ah, the jazz stage.
Indeed.
You'll be able to find jazz. You'll be able to find jazz in the system. It'll follow you around like a bad smell.
As is its wont.
It is. It's the way that jazz
Indeed.
works. But yes, so that will be tomorrow at the same time. And that's going to be semi-regular. It's going to be like every 4, 5, 6 weeks, I think. That will be.
Yeah.
And that will be a continuous adventure. If they die, they'll roll up a new character, I'm guessing. We'll just play it out for a bit. It's a great setting. Cowboy.
See, you're tempting me now, because I like rolling up new characters.
Just put yourself out there. Be a hero.
Almost like a challenge.
Get bored of your guy quick. Play out all of his stories, and then roll up a new one.
Yes, Kelly. The ship is indeed this vintage, recycled, highly sort of dilapidated. But I'm perceiving it as kind of a bit Art Nouveau, if you know what I mean, or Art Deco rather.
It's a restored scrapper's hauler. It's an antique.
It has a hand on it, doesn't it? It has a grappling hand.
A grappling hand.
Wasn't that a thing?
Like a claw, not big, just a big hand.
Yeah. I'm sort of imagining it like those streamlined fairings they put on steam locomotives with the sort of striations down them and things like that. That kind of era of virtual engineering.
It's got a reputation. And
it has.
Good news for the 3 of you. It has 2 quality spacesuits on it.
Yes, I remember that quite distinctly.
Yeah.
So
though to be fair, that's all we need unless we're abandoning ship. You want someone on board, right?
And to be fair, we've got 2 quality people on board. Me. I'm kind of a dumpster fire, but the other 2 are quite quality people.
There's only one. There's only one of you that's fixed a jukebox. That's where my money's going.
That's true. That's true. Good old Anna.
Although you've been buying drinks, which is good. So you're all good people, quite frankly, as it stands.
Well, I don't think we've done anything horrifically evil yet. Certainly,
it's early days.
A bit of
glaring
in there. Just for good measure.
Yeah. Anyway, we're much looking forward to Orbital Blues. We had our little session 0 character creation and meander about a bar thing, and now we get to properly hit the ground running, which means everything we do has to come as a complete surprise to Luke.
Oh, don't start like that. You need to let me know very clearly what you're going to do. Just really signpost it.
Remind me tomorrow to send you a message.
Secret
questions.
I'm sure we will be
Don't have
every bit
questions.
as kind as you always are.
Oh no, I'm doomed.
Pretty much.
But you did scare an innocent couple. I've got their pictures and everything now. Just so you know who you scared, so you can look them in the eyes.
We did creep them out, rather, didn't we? Yes.
Especially her. She was very put off by you.
I mean, we enforced some kind of character in the bar. I feel, Yeah. I wouldn't say scared. I'd say we made our mark on the few.
And to be fair,
locals.
I don't really know what women look like when they're not creeped out, because they're always creeped out around me.
Ben! Ben! Oh, everyone, an half for Ben, everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Ben.
Oh, Ben.
Anyway, yes, that's what we're doing then.
Again.
Oh, Kelly.
And then we are on Sunday. It's a Spooky Sunday, isn't it?
It is spooky. We love Spooky Sunday on this channel. It's Deliver Us the Moon.
Delivering Us the Moon.
We go back to the moon and find out what's going on. I'm drawn into it.
It's a really good game.
It's a really nice combination, isn't it? It's a sort of puzzle solving and slightly atmospheric scare fest. Not
subtly spooky. Yeah.
But the narrative is really gripping you. The way you're learning it in these little segments of the replays and everything is brilliant.
Yeah, it's a very good game. And the puzzles aren't so frustrating that it's annoying. I might die once or twice learning it, but it's not frustrating. It's very good, very good.
Yeah, and it looks lovely, of course.
It does look very beautiful. Sounds beautiful as well. Are we on plan?
Excellent.
Are we on plan, Kelly? Trying to think, we were halfway through a plan because plan Ben failed quickly. That
was like 11 seconds or something, and that was done.
Plan Socks was
my favourite bit of Luke plays is the plans.
Luckily, we haven't had a Ewan for a while because Plan Ewan's is always an absolute dumpster fire. Talking about dumpster fires,
Well, it's quick.
I think it's Plan
quick and snappy.
Quick as no death. Next plan.
It doesn't overstay its welcome.
No,
it does what it says it does. I think we are halfway through Plan Kelly. It continues. It's a good plan.
I think we are still on Kelly. Yes, I think so.
Strong plan going into Sunday. Anyway, I've set up a raid for DMDM. They're doing something. They're doing something quite exciting.
That's nice.
There's about 40,000 people on their street. It's all women as well, I think. Fantastic. 368. They're hosting someone. Let's go join
40,000 people.
Lord of the Rings, Rangers in the North. Oh, I love a bit of Lord of the Rings. One of them's got a fake beard on. There's some fake ear. 2 lots of fake ears.
What's happened to Ben for beard? Beard for Ben.
Beard for Ben. Is it still there? I think there is still a beard. He's got a beard now.
I've got a beard at the moment. It won't last forever, though.
Well, he does, but it doesn't mean he couldn't do with more beard.
Additional beard.
More beard.
Okay, there it is. As you asked, we'll do a little freebie to finish the night with before we raid.
Oh, thanks, Luke.
Okay. Right, cool. Right, let's go raid DMDM. If you're going to go anyway, just hang around for a bit, say hello to them because they're doing some good stuff. It looks quite fun. So let's go and say hello, chill for a bit, and give them their support.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I guess we'll see all of you, and more of you. Everyone will be here tomorrow night from 11.
Lovely.
Good night, everyone.
Cheers.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, DMDM are good. I think they're they're hosting. I don't quite know if they are who this group is. It is Women's Month, I think it is. I feel
hosting confuses me.
Hosting confuses me as well.
If I'm honest.
Right, let's raid. Toodaloo.
More later than she normally would, but that puts her at like 7 a.m.